Well, here we go again. This is indeed the Dad Radio Report. They say if you want to get to know some people, some nation, some society, you have to visit a couple of places. The first one is the marketplace, and the second one is the graveyard. The graveyard, the kingdom of the dead of this society. And now, this very moment, I'm here at the Crimean cemetery, which seems to be not too old, really. But some of the names of the people who have taken their last way here in these graves, most of them are people of the Soviet Union. Yes, some of them were born in the 20s Soviet Union and died somewhere in the 70s, and that was a normal thing because you would have to take into consideration the fact that most of them have lived a short and probably a productive, but I would say an unhealthy way of living. They would have grown up, then they would have been taken into a facility, then to the army, and then the war began. World War II. So most of them ended the war being cripples of some kind. I'm not saying only just physical cripples. There's a well-known, I would say, recent statement. A name for this one is called post-traumatic syndrome. Now, back in the days, these people, the people around the war, after the war, 30s, the 70s, they were a very, very tough bunch, to be honest. Compared to us, to us, we have been sacrificing our free time, probably, and these people were sacrificing their lives and bodies for some idea. See, like for this person, for instance, lived. Yes, he was born in 1901 and died in 1974. So for him, he was a teenager, mind? A teenager when the so-called Great Revolution came, and all kinds of civil wars have been ignited by that fact. Yes, I mean, yeah, if we're talking about some dull and faithful, quote unquote, brackets and brackets, world, then yes, the Russians, the Ruskies turn out to be quite a fussy bunch, right? I mean, a revolution, then a civil war, then a building, then a rebuilding, then different types of repressions, beginning from the Trotsky's Red Terror. None other, by the way, it was Trotsky, Leo Bronstein, his real name was. And he introduced, in fact, as a matter of fact, he was the one who introduced the term the Red Terror, after which came the Stalin thing. Now, history has been having powerful arguments whether the Stalin person was a bloody tyrant or wasn't he, on the other hand, sort of a punisher, a cleaner, yeah, a purifier, along with his NKVD or we would call the KGB, or then which ended up being the FSB in a way. FSB's a bit of a different structure there. But anyways, so was he a beamer? He was absolutely, without a doubt, he was a large historical persona, but along with that, he has done a lot of undesirable things. I mean, for instance, the local Tatar community has a very deep misunderstanding, I would say, yes, a big pain caused by Stalin era. When they had to be deported, they were deported. They were actually just thrown into train wagons, and delivered over to Siberia, where they had to somehow survive, build a new life. Now, I'd say, why would someone do such a vicious, such a vicious and brainless thing, a silly thing in all ways? And then it turns out that these guys were always busying themselves trying to shit the Ruskies. And finally, when the Hitler guys came over, many of them went into official collaboration with the Hitlerian regime. Now, of course, little did the Tatars know that they were not actually the main players of the game. So, would they have been deported into Siberia and then eventually turned back, or were they to be used as cannon fodder against the Ruskies and then destroyed as subhumans, the Untermenschen? But yes, it was all about history. These are dead people anyway, this way or the other, as you can see. Now, the big news is that, if you're actually watching, I will tell you something. I would not want to be reporting about things going on the grounds of the special operation. Why? Well, because they're happening quite rapidly, and there are people who are busy and they're doing it well enough, and you can watch some of them and summon your view upon the subject. Because, well, yes, the biggest advantage, or yes, I mean, always the biggest advantage of being here is that you are well informed by the people on the grounds. As I said, there are people, the Z people are coming and going. They come over from the battles here, and they stay here for rest. Haven't seen that many crippled or sick or anything. They're feeling good. I would say these guys are cheerful, which means they are there's probably some success on the ground, right? And the eggs, 10 eggs would be 48 rubles, which is, as a matter of fact, a little less than $1, right? Considering the dollar is 60 rubles for a moment. Yeah, so this is the current information, so that you would know that everything is going fine, more or less. But then again, my dear Russophobes, if you're watching, there's some good news for you. Yes, the sanctions actually do work, I must admit. Inside of the town where I'm living, within the cafeterias and little coffee shops of all shapes and sizes, there have not been there haven't been found. I don't know whether you call it. It's like cream, but the one that you can spray it on. The sprayable cream, which you can add to your coffee or some latte, or some. Well, there used to be a popular coffee drink called Snickers, where they would basically like literally cut sneakers. No, sneakers. Is it? Sneakers. Anyways, so they cut this thing, this candy, and place it all over a cream, which they were to first of all create with the help of this spray. Now, so my dear Russo folks, this time you've won. We have Russia is being put down by the manufacturers, the export of sprayable cream, which is not to be found in as a matter of fact in stores or supermarkets all over the city. I mean, I can swear to God, I tried and I couldn't find any. So yes, you won. Yes, Russia lost this battle, but as we say, Russia never surrenders. We do probably lose battles, but we always win the war. I'm not talking about a special operation once again, because I'm telling you, this is not a war. If it was to be a war, there would not be any electricity, water supply, or I'm not even talking about the internet inside of Ukraine. So those of you thinking that they want to take a big fight against the Russians and kill as many Russians as possible, there's a bit of a probability that you probably end up being evaporated. So yes, take care, watch carefully. If you got any questions, write down. We don't need any bullshitty kind of a thing. So you just take care, and hugs and kisses. This was indeed the 10th Radio Report, coming at you from the Cemetery Hill.